Hello, everyone. My name is Sika Antonio, and I am so pleased to be here once again with you guys. I wanted to talk today about, getting your health MOT done. Let me ask you, when was the last time you got your health check done? When was the last time you took a trip to your doctor, your family doctor, your general practitioner, or your GP, as we would call it in England or United Kingdom, to go and get your health check done? When was the last time? You might be able to get away with it when you're in your 20s and 30s, but let's face it, once you hit those middle ages, it is absolutely crucial and important that you stay on top of your health and know where you stand. Somebody listening to me would ask the question, well, but I feel fine. Why do I need to go get my health checked? Why should I visit a doctor when I have no issues that are presenting themselves that are obvious to me? If I have no symptoms, why am I going to the hospital? You see, prevention, they say, is better than cure. It is much, much more painful to be dealing with an existing ongoing medical situation than it is to know where you stand even before the illnesses strike. The fact of the matter is that once we hit those 30s and go through the cycle of life and, the stresses and strains of life, you get married, you've got your children, or otherwise, work is stressful. The hustle and bustle of daily living is not that easy, and it does not do our bodies a lot of favors. By the time we hit our 40s, a lot of us are bulging out in the middle. In our middle section, we've put on a heck of a lot of weight. It is something that happens to a lot of us, and it's typically called the middle age spread or the middle age spread. The spread that you get in all the places that you don't want to see the fat, exactly there is where you get it. The middle spread that you don't like on your belly, just beneath your boobs if you're a woman, all the way down to your hip or your waistline. That middle section is what I am talking about. And with that presents itself with a whole host of health conditions that we really, really do not want to have and want to do everything humanly possible to avoid. And so here I am today, entreating you, no matter how old you think you are, or how young you are, to at least once a year go to see your family doctor and get them to do a annual health check on you. Test and check your vital signs, for example. So what are some of the things that people should get their doctors to look at when they go get this annual MOT or health check done? On an annual basis minimum, but even more so every 6 months if you really, really want to pay attention to your health. What are some of the things that they would be looking out for? They will do the regular vital signs, your blood pressure, making sure that it's at that 120/80 mark, which would be a normal blood pressure for an adult. And everything or anything above the 140/90 mark will be considered high blood pressure on the higher side. Steps will be given for you to take to try and reduce this blood pressure. And if that is not happening, then it might have to be controlled with medication. At least you will know where you stand and you can make the necessary lifestyle changes to bring things back down to normal. You see, having your regular health check would also bring out issues that may be hereditary in your family or inside your genes without you even realizing. A lot of us African people suffer with things with high blood pressure, blood sugar levels, and cholesterol issues. These are chronic illnesses that are rife in our communities. It happens to the bulk of us for whatever reason. We are more predisposed to a whole lot of these issues, and the earlier you get them checked, the better. So high blood pressure is one on the list. You would get things like your hemoglobin, your blood level, also checked out to make sure you're not anemic, especially for women because we have our menstrual cycles and periods every single month. Some people bleed so heavily, and it means that their blood reserves are diminished and a lot of times are not replenished adequately from their poor diets that they're having. And so having this checked regularly will let you know where you stand. You might be having these dizzy spells that may feel like vertigo or something else to you, but it could also be indicative of the fact that you don't have enough blood in your system and you need to eat the right nutritious kinds of foods to up your levels. And if it is that you need to have iron supplements to help build back your reserves, then so be it. At least you would be informed. And so you see, doing an annual health check minimum at least will give you information, and you would have you would be able to make an informed decision about yourself going forward, knowing all that is wrong with you or otherwise, and being able to take the necessary steps where necessary so that you don't wait until it is too late and you're struck by these illnesses that we are all trying so hard to avoid. Again, you also want your blood sugar levels to be checked regularly so that you can know whether your body is being able to use the insulin that your pancreas is secreting to be able to break down and remove the excess sugars from your bloodstream so that you don't become diabetic. Type 2 diabetes is all about lifestyle. A whole lot of it has to do with our lifestyle changes. And so the more healthy you are, the more nutrients you're putting into your body, the better it is for you to be able to fight all these illnesses and get rid of them. Again, I would stress that you go and get your blood sugar levels checked regularly and know where you stand with that. A lot of us, once again, as Africans, are predisposed to diabetes because it runs in our families. Your father's father may have died of it without you knowing. It might be on your mom's bloodline, or even both parents might have it running in their bloodlines, which makes you, as a byproduct of theirs, triply or quadruply more prone to getting diabetes. And so you need to do everything humanly possible to make sure that you stay healthy and delay this diabetes from hitting you or completely eradicate it with effective lifestyle changes. It is possible to do, and it takes somebody who is informed, who is tooled with information to be able to do the needful to avoid this illness. I cannot stress it enough. Diabetes is not a nice illness. It is not something to be messed about with. And you see, once you get diabetes, it leads to other things because it affects all the other vital organs. So it's not just the pancreas, it's the heart, it's the lungs, it's the kidneys, it's the liver, it's everything slows down because of this diabetes that you are suffering from. It is a very debilitating illness, and you want to do anything and everything to avoid it as much as possible. And if it is found out that you do have it, then the necessary steps can be taken to control your blood sugars. You can do lifestyle changes, big time lifestyle changes, to keep your symptoms under control and to have a more fulfilled and a better life going forward. So that is the second thing. Also, a lot of us are walking around, we fall in love with whoever we fall in love with. But one of the things that is very, very important is that you know your blood group type, not just that you're a blood group A, O, B, or AB, but specifically whether you've got sickle cell or not, because once again, this is something that is very common amongst us as Black people. Now, if you're a carrier of sickle cell and you go and marry somebody else who is also a carrier, there is a 50% chance that any one or all of your children will be sickling SS, which is the most severe form of this sickle cell anemia. And so, if you have the right information, you can make an informed decision yet again about something that could affect your whole life and the children yet to be born, and decide whether this is something that is worth considering and doing or not. A lot has been said about it, and it is good that you know where you stand. And the only way to find out is by getting this annual blood test and, health check done so that you know where you stand. Yet again, you want to check your cholesterol levels, the bad cholesterol, the LDLs. You want to make sure that those levels are kept to a minimum so that you don't run the risk of developing strokes and all of those other illnesses associated with bad cholesterol or high cholesterol. People that are particularly prone to epilepsy and migraines, science is showing that you have a higher risk of some of these issues. And so you want to make sure that you're keeping tabs on your cholesterol levels and doing the needful to reduce them. There's medications for all of these things, but I say that lifestyle changes proves to be the most effective to keep things under control. And it's effective for a heck of a lot of other reasons as well. You want to keep your middle section in check so that you're not bursting out of the seams of your clothing as a man or a woman. Especially men these days, you wear this protruding belly as if you're carrying a 6-month pregnancy. It is really unhealthy and a big telltale sign that if things are not put in check, before long, you would have diabetes and high blood pressure and cholesterol knocking at your door. Don't wait until these things visit you before you begin to make the changes that are necessary to put things in check. And I know it is a very, very difficult thing to do. We all love our foods. Foods are stodgy, foods are lovely, foods that we Africans and Ghanaians specifically make. Oh, they taste so good and we all love to eat them. But at what cost or at what price are you putting yourself at if you're not doing certain minimal changes with the way you're eating and cooking these foods to make sure that you are keeping things under control and in check? Life is good. We all want to live life, but we don't just want to be alive. We want to be alive and healthy to make sure that we can accomplish and achieve all the things that we want to do in our lifetime. Women, if you're over the age of 25, all the way up until you're 74 and even more than that, you want to make sure that every single 2 years you are getting cervical screening done. I cannot begin to stress the importance of this. We have lost too many people in Ghana, specifically in West Africa, in Africa. We have lost too many young women needlessly because of cervical cancer, because of issues that could have been picked up so easily by doing a simple cervical screen, by doing a simple cervical screen on a regular basis to make sure that human papilloma virus or whatever it is that causes the illnesses is caught early and brought into check. It is just a very simple, painless test that is done. Yes, I know it's uncomfortable, and a lot of us are very shy and don't want to have vaginal swabs done, but it is very necessary. You could save a life. I lost a very dear friend of mine at the tender age of 29, 6 weeks after childbirth, because she never ever went and got a cervical test done. And it only came up in the 3rd trimester of her pregnancy that there were issues going on with her cervix. And only after she delivered the baby that they were able to do what was necessary. But by that time, it was too late. It was cancer and it had spread everywhere. And she passed away six weeks later because the strains of childbirth alone were too much for the body to handle on top of the cancer that she had. Don't be another statistic. Don't let this be you. It can be prevented. It just needs to be diagnosed early and treatment given. So please, please, please tell everyone you know, 25 to 74, make it a point on a yearly or 2 yearly basis to get this screening done. Those of us that live in the West, it is more difficult for us to get lost in the system because measures and things have been put in place for you to be reminded every 2 yearly to go and get this screening done. The doctors will hound you until you get it done. And so it's difficult to slip through the cracks. However, in Ghana, in most of West Africa, and a lot of Africa to be specific, we don't as yet have the systems in place to remind and prompt people to come and get these tests done. I know you have to pay for it. I know you have to be the one that is proactive to make sure that these tests are done. But let me ask you a question. Don't you want to live? And if your life is in your own hands, shouldn't you be doing the needful by yourself? Shouldn't you take it upon yourself to make sure that you stay alive and stay healthy? And isn't paying a few cents and a few dollars, a few cedis to go to get this test done all worth it if it is going to help to save your life? Ask yourself these hard questions and prioritize your health because you only live once. Again, women, by the ages of 50, you want to make breast screening something that is part of your routine on a yearly basis, so that if there's any lumps or bumps or anything in your boobs that needs to be picked up, it will be picked up. But by yourself as well. If in the course of your bathing or whatever, or intimacy, you find that there is something that is lumpy in your breast that isn't normally there and isn't normal, whether it is painful or painless, please go and get it screened. You could just be saving your life. Don't ignore that twinge that you're feeling in your boobs that's been there for a little while. That pain that you're feeling on your underarm that seems to be nothing, maybe just a boil. No, go and get it investigated. And if you've had cancer in your family before, or any relative of yours has died to breast cancer, you are at a 50% chance of developing one yourself if the person is a close relative like an aunt, a sister, or an auntie. You should also go on a regular basis, and even before the ages of 50, much, much younger, to go and get this breast screening done on a regular basis. You would be saving your life. There is a third test that a lot of people in Africa are still coming to terms with and don't really know about. It is called polycystic ovarian syndrome. It is something that is fairly new, but I think has been around for a very long time, and it is only now being diagnosed, and awareness has been created to a very large degree and extent about it in the last 20-25 years. There's been a lot of things to do with fertility that has been unexplained for a very long time, but now we have a better understanding. PCOS, or polycystic ovarian syndrome, is a fertility condition that affects a heck of a lot of women. I believe that every 2 or 3 in every 10 women has some kind of strain or variant of this illness. And because the symptoms of them are varied, a lot of us don't really even know that we have it. There's simple tests that can be done. If your hormones are not balanced, this is what causes you to have cysts on your ovaries, and it affects you to the degree that you're not having regular menstrual periods. So if this is you, if you only have 3 menses a year, and you bleed for 1 day, then it stops, and then it comes again, girl, go get tested. There's simple tests that can be done, blood tests, and a basic ultrasound scan on your uterus, and that will reveal whether or not you have polycystic ovaries or not. The effects of polycystic ovaries, the consequences of polycystic ovaries are far reaching and deep. You develop things like diabetes, type 2 diabetes, because your body becomes resistant to insulin. I have to do another class to explain this in bigger detail, but I want to entreat every woman of childbearing age. If you're having any symptoms, you're big in your middle section and it's constantly there, you've tried everything and it's not going down. If you have issues with your periods, they're irregular, and you have facial hairs and mood swings and painful periods, the list goes on. Go and get tested. You just might be on the PCOS spectrum without even knowing. Even though there is no cure necessary for polycystic ovaries themselves, the symptoms that you exhibit can be managed effectively with treatment. There are lots of options available. Go and get the test done. And to you guys, I come to you now and say that once you hit the 50s mark, apart from the regular tests to make sure that you're keeping your blood pressure and your sugar levels in check, you want to do things to make sure that your thyroid and all of those things are functioning properly. Another thing that kills a lot of men these days is prostate. That is something that you guys never, ever, ever like to talk about. A lot of guys shy away from. You think it's too personal, and this should be hidden. It is in our culture to not talk about certain topics, and healthcare and prostate is one of them. But guys, there is no shame in knowing that you have a particular issue so that the needful can be done about it. From the ages of 50 onwards, this is screening that should be routine for you. Go and get checked. Go and get tested. Again, bowel cancer is killing. It's killed a lot of people needlessly because they didn't visit their GPs regularly. Those stools that you have that are bloody, they're not normal. Go and get them checked. Simple camera will be put through your backside to check to make sure that your bowels are healthy and it's not doing you any damage. Go and get tested. Go and get it checked. It is not normal to have blood in your stools. I cannot stress it enough. I cannot stress it enough. Once it gets into your bowels and it's not checked, it spreads very quickly. Bowel cancer kills very, very quickly. Please go and get tested. If you're 50 and over, get tested. If you're younger than that and you're predisposed because a close relative of yours has had any of these issues, you need to be tested even sooner. But by going to your doctor and being examined, they can tell you more and best advise you as to what it is that you need to do. Last but not the least, erectile dysfunction is something that, again, is a no topic in our communities, but it is happening to a lot of men, especially when you hit those middle ages. You are finding it difficult to get it up and keep it up. Some people struggle with even getting it up, not to talk of keeping it up. It's not normal. You feel embarrassed about it. You don't know who you can talk to about it. Some of it has to do with some of these chronic illnesses that you might have that you're not even aware of, especially things to do with stress and the blood pressure that is elevated. And these are all things that result from that when it is not checked. Also, if you're already diagnosed with hypertension and blood pressure and you're on medication, it might be that the type of medication that you're taking is not right for you and it's not helping your situation. If that can be checked, if the medication can be changed, it might just be able to help you get it up and keep it up. And so please, there is no shame. There should be no shame in admitting that you have a problem. It is no use suffering in silence. go and get checked and get your manhood back. Get things under control and be able to enjoy your sex life with your partner without any embarrassment and without any big issues. Again, excessive drinking can also cause you to develop this issue with erectile dysfunction. And so I entreat you to live a much healthier and fulfilling life. I know that it's good to have fun, but binge drinking lots and lots of scotch and alcohol and strong liquor does not help your sexual life and your health in general. So please, let's keep things in check. Let's do the needful to make our lives better for us all. Before I go, I want to introduce you to healthier eating, using fruits, fresh fruits and vegetables to bridge the gap between what you're eating in your diet on a regular basis and what your body actually needs. This is something that I have discovered myself in recent times that has been significantly helpful for me and has helped me to keep tabs on my own health issues. And it is something that I want to talk to you also about as I end my video. I have found a lot of use in it, and I hope that you would also want to try it to see how it helps you also get things better for your own self. And so I have partnered with a company called Juice Plus that produces whole food supplements from fresh fruits, vegetables, and berries. And that has helped me keep tabs on things like my blood pressure, helped me to regulate my hormones so that a sufferer of PCOS is able to keep tabs on my symptoms and keep my blood sugar levels in check. It is not a magical set of pills or anything of the sort. It is not medication. It is just nutrients, fresh fruits and vegetables that you're incorporating into your daily routine to help you live a better, more fulfilled and healthier life. You need to take these supplements in combination with living a healthier lifestyle, keeping check on your carb intake and eating more fresh fruits and vegetables with your normal diets. And so this evening, I want to introduce you to the fruit blend made from Juice Plus that is bioavailable in a red tub. Introduce you to the Omega blend that has 5 different blends of omegas 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9 to help you have a more balanced life and be able to regulate things like your blood pressure and your blood sugar levels. If you have any hormonal issues, this blend of omegas will help you to deal with that and regulate it. The vegetable blend of Juice Plus has a variety of 10 different vegetables to help you keep your overall general health in check, thereby pushing all these chronic illnesses that we've talked about at bay. And last but not the least, the berry blend that has a variety of 10 different berries to help you manage your health. If you haven't heard anything I've said to you tonight, I entreat you to get these medical whole food supplements that are going to help you live a better and more fulfilled life. I guarantee you, if you try these for your own selves, you will begin to see and feel the difference almost immediately because they are bioavailable, which means that the nutrients are able to seep straight away into your bloodstream and get to work. You don't waste any of the nutrients in your pee or your poop. It is all utilized in your body. And these are nutrients that we all need. I hope that you've picked something out of what I've said to you and you will go tonight as soon as possible after watching and listening to this video. You would go and get your health check done. make sure it is done annually at an absolute minimum. But every 6 months, if you can get it done, it will be even better. I entreat you to do it. I'm doing it, and I hope that you would too. God bless you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Keep watching Seeker Educates and follow the page for lots of more videos, insightful, educational, motivational, and inspiring messages that are going to give you a more fulfilled, a more enriched life. Thanks for watching. Good night.